Hi everybody, I'm Seamus.
I'm Josh.
So much for the armor.
I'm Rootscon.
What's left?
And I'm Chris.
A few rounds. That's
Yeah! Rickety ass, dark stairwell with a locked door behind us and no known route of escape.
Come on.
Why is
There's
this
gotta be
the
a way out down
armory?
here.
That's a good question, actually. Why is this the armory?
That was weird.
The door didn't render at first,
Not gonna
so
hold.
Lee walked up
Back
to a
upstairs.
doorway that didn't have a door in it, and then opened the door.
Lee, look.
That's
Well, it's a
not
good
that
thing
metal
someone a
doorway
door at
is
a
not
minute.
gonna hold.
Yes.
I mean, those metal doors, those like fire escape doors, those are strong. I suppose
this a
this
fire
all.
escape?
It looks like.
I mean, the
So-
floor is all rotted out.
And now this is a part of the game that a lot of people actually complain
Okay,
about,
that
because
zombie
this is
fell
where
through the stairs.
the game sort of becomes doomed.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you know, you've got a shotgun with unlimited shells, and rather than running away from and sort of ineptly handling your problems in close quarters, you're picking off dozens of
I
them
think
with your
I
shotgun.
screwed that up.
You did.
Yeah, I
You're
think you
supposed to
screwed
shoot
that
them
up.
and then occasionally help your leg, not constantly obsessed about
Yes.
your leg, like a leg-obsessed leg man.
But it's a leg.
Yeah,
really,
you
like-
can't lose a
Don't-
limb. That would be the worst thing ever.
Oh, god damn it.
I did this a lot better last time. Why is
Sure you did,
my
Josh.
goddamn stomach so easy to rip through?
Did it even touch it?
I never understood
I might
that.
not be following it properly, but it looks like it just kind of erupted outward. Weren't we having a conversation right before this episode on how hard it was to die in this game?
Yes, we were.
Yeah.
And I think Josh was making fun of me for being the one who sucks. I just want to point that out. If you die a third time, you have to apologize to me.
No, I'm okay. I think.
Right, now the sniper. And now having somebody who rolled sniper is pretty okay, out of shells, arbitrarily. Time to go all up close and personal.
How did these zombies get ahead of you?
Well, they came in through the door to the armory.
Oh, I
from the-
see. Yeah.
Yeah.
To be fair, you did kind of make it unclosable.
You were
Come on.
spy backstabbing all of them.
That like action movie one-handed shotgun shot.
Any way out of here?
That's where the scene
We
got a
might be
little
able
bit
to find a way
ridiculous
down
for
from
me.
there.
You didn't come into town.
I mean, you know, shooting zombies at close range with your shotgun, that's fair enough. You know, it's if you have a shotgun, that's a fairly reasonable solution to the problems. It's hard to miss at that range.
Well, what are we waiting for?
But,
Go,
you know,
go.
when you pull out your melee weapon and begin hacking your way through with ease and little difficulty without your axe getting stuck until the very end, that's a moment of sort of unusual competence
Come on,
at
let's go.
close range combat for me. That's when I thought it was stretching things a little bit. I mean, your character didn't even seem like too stressed out during all that. The one thing if he did all that, he's like, man, I cannot believe that just
There's-
happened.
There's a zombie on the bell all of a sudden.
Didn't we notice that?
Apparently not.
I've got you.
No, I think we saw him earlier
Why would
So here's
Crawford have
the,
a zombie on the bell?
Come on. You
because he hung himself.
Yeah, he hung himself.
So here's the big choice of this
Come
episode.
on.
Do you let Ben die or do you save him?
Do you let Ben die for no reason?
And Kenny's
Right.
just like, hey,
Even
what's
though-
up? We should go.
Even
I'm
though
not gonna
he's
help
never
you.
done anything to upset us or to disappoint us, even though Ben's a perfectly awesome guy, do we kill him anyway?
Well, no, I mean, the question is, like, there's really no reason to not save him knowing you can, except,
Right.
he's fine. He gets to die.
Well, we're gonna save him because it makes episode 5 much more interesting. Even though it is the most common choice.
Okay, the first time I played this, I didn't notice how kind of off Ben's voice acting was there. He almost sounded disinterested, like, why? Like, he's just kind of confused. Like, mildly confused. Like, why'd you do that again? I don't get it, Big Dan.
I really thought they were going to turn Omid here.
Don't get any closer.
So did I.
Yeah.
The game was definitely yanking you around, and I thought, oh, I didn't leave
Christy, get away from him.
Clementine with him, so therefore he's going to die. I mean, really, the dude went all night without a drink. That's not good for a sick person. But no. No. Game was just messing with you.
Feel like I could use some. You okay, kid? You look worse than I do.
Not gonna question the strange man who suddenly appeared in our house.
Should've left
And shoved a pill down my
chance. Guys, what the hell happened out there?
I think it speaks to the
Oh,
unpredictability of
th-
some of the
that's-
writing.
I got work to do.
That's pretty great there, but also extremely canny. We almost didn't make it out of here because of Ben. By which I mean because I threw a hissy fit at Ben for no reason.
Let me know if you need.
Well, not no reason. I mean, Ben kind of
Well,
killed
yeah,
his
but what
wife
I mean
and
is-
son and
It's somewhat reasonable, albeit an extremely complicated and very Kenny train of logic that actually leads you to conclude that Ben is responsible for the death of Kenny's child. But
He told me that he was responsible for the death of my family, and knowing full well that there's no way I could not throw a temper tantrum right then and there and endanger everyone.
despite the fact that we were almost out of there to the armory, that's why Bree died. Who's Bree? Oh, just some lady who died because of Ben.
Because of Ben.
This is kind of
Because
some
Ben forced me to
foreshadowing
throw a
here for
temper
episode
tantrum.
5.
But it's also kind of a plot cul-de-sac, and I don't really... It feels like something they intended to wrap up in 5 that they didn't really do anything with.
What did you want to talk to me about?
I know you care about Clementine.
It's true.
What, you mean
it's
the-
just...
The
And I know you
The
want
Clementine
to-
stuff.
Oh, the Clementine story. I thought we were talking about Ben and Kenny still, and I was like, well, if Ben is dead, then you can't really wrap it up properly. But
Where she can be safe.
No, this stuff that
yeah,
Jim was talking about.
there's a lot of stuff in episode 5 that bugs me. We'll kind of get into that when we get there.
I'll take her off your hands. Take her back with me.
Yeah, I don't have much more to say about episode 4 here, and I'm kind of chomping at the bit to get to episode 5. Just because that... We've talked a lot about this episode in the previous weeks, and 5 is kind of really different from the others.
I promise you.
Well, it's so weird that they... In other episodes, they set stuff up ahead of time. They set up Larry's heart condition, they set up lots of other stuff, and it feels like they're setting something up here that never really properly pays off, aside from a red herring.
This conversation, but you're not.
Right.
And staying with you is not.
Yeah, a red herring
for
at the end of
her.
this
If no
episode.
one else around here will tell you that, then I will.
It is a little weird to have Vernon going all like super caring about this, given what he and his group do in episode 5.
Yeah, that's the other thing. He's very invested in the safety and security of this group, and then he totally... Spoiler warning. He totally fucks your group over.
Well, really, he doesn't care about any of you so much as he cares about Clementine, and really only because she's a kid, but...
So he
Still-
steals the boat so you can't get
Right.
to safety on
Exactly.
the... That's...
Breaking our spoiler policy there, Ruts.
Yeah, well, it's gonna come this week, so, I mean, fair
Yeah.
enough, right?
Hey, going somewhere?
Oh, is this that
Yeah,
scene with
I'm
Clementine
about to
that made
head
me
out.
super fucking depressed?
I just wanted to say thanks
No, not yet.
Yeah.
Bring up here.
for everything. It's been fun.
So, if Molly is alive, she will leave you here, but she could have died back at Crawford.
Thought you were coming with us.
Yeah.
God knows you earned it.
Although,
And considering Molly's attitude, like, for the rest of this episode,
Sounds like it'd be pretty
the
crowded,
fact that she's
and
so
I
nice
never
here
did like
seems
the
a
walk.
little bit incongruous.
You sure about this?
I'm sure.
I think the
always
idea
been
is that
better
she
on
got
my own
her...
anyhow.
She got even with Crawford
Listen,
and kind of put her demons to
not much for
rest.
goodbyes.
yeah.
Which wasn't really sold. I mean, she didn't really put her demons to rest. She stabbed and
true.
kicked a guy a bunch of times. An already dead man. Over and over again. She didn't even
And
finish him
you
off.
failed to kill him.
Yeah.
Yeah, That's not really...
Zombies are complicated, you
For
got.
something as horrible as what he did, that's not really gonna help you out. That's probably just gonna reopen the
Ain't nothing
wound.
to do with luck.
Right, but I think that's what they were going for here. Is like, oh, her arc is completed, and she's faced Crawford and seen the place come to an end, and you know, and now she's at peace, at least about Crawford.
And not to harp
Yeah.
too much on those stupid interviews of the Walking Dead interviews,
What are we
but
going to do?
they did mention how they wanted her to leave specifically because she's sort of this badass, holier-than-thou ninja that sort of makes everything into an action game, and they wanted to get rid of her specifically so they can have the following events transpire and have them have more gravitas than they would if you had, you know, Axe Queen, McZombie, Killer Ninja.
I'll be
Yeah,
honest.
they'd also have to do a lot to
It's a good kid.
The stronger choice.
to make it more plausible if she were still around.
I know why they included her. You explained earlier to like to add some lightness to this very heavy episode. I think the more honest and the more like honorable approach really would have just been not to have her, or not to have her as she is in this game, this episode. Because I think, you know, if the game had trusted itself a little more and like this dark tone it was going for, and this episode had been sort of heavy and kind of depressing,
If your parents are there,
then that would have worked out a lot better. I feel like there's a tonal dissonance between her character, the horrible things that have happened to her character, and everything else that's going on, and how she's... And they didn't really have time to resolve her properly or doing anything with her.
I don't disagree with the idea that she's certainly sort of a superhero in a world that is more grounded, but I do think you needed a little bit of lightness, just because what happened to Crawford is so intense, the introduction of this episode is so intense, and the conclusion is so intense. You needed that levity. I don't know if that levity needed to come from hilarious, bright-colored,
You
perky
idiot!
chick,
Why would you
but
put that there?
That's... yeah. Can I just say that making Clementine cry was the part where I felt the crappiest in pretty much this entire game?
I would rather cut my own arm off than make her cry like that.
I'm sure that won't be an option in the future, Seamus. You should just give up.
Clementine?
I would rather beat Steve Buscemi to death with a claw hammer than make Clementine cry.
That said,
I'd rather kiss Kenny full on the mouth in the next episode.
Wow,
than
did
make
everybody
Clementine cry.
leave?
I'd rather have a steamy, out-of-nowhere sex scene with Kenny in the next episode than make Clementine cry.
Yeah, that said, I like the Molly character. I know that a lot of people don't, but I found her interesting enough, and
Yeah.
it would be cool if we saw her again sometime in episode or in season 2.
Okay, here we're coming up on the episode 5 hook.
Yeah.
Now, they're setting up a cliffhanger ending for this episode. You think it's all over, we've had our big climax, we think we're all good, and then this happens. And I think it's a wonderful thing to have happen for a story reason, but how it's portrayed, this is the biggest bullshit ninja zombie in the entire game.
Fucking seriously.
A zombie that was deliberately hiding. Like, he was like waiting until you got close enough. Like quiet, like did he pull that box over himself? How did he hide under there?
What?
I want to stress that
bit through your metal watch. Like, seriously?
What?
I want to stress.
Oh wait,
know
no,
it's a
that's
total metal
cloth. No, it isn't. Okay.
Yeah.
I want to
Still.
stress that I'm totally for the idea that Lee gets bitten. I think this was a great turn of story. It's something the player totally wasn't expecting.
Where's Clementine? She's not in her room.
They just
Vernon
needed
ain't in the house either.
to sell it
What
without
the hell
like
is going on?
ridiculous ninja zombie hiding under a
Yeah.
box and snickering while you walk up to him.
Seriously.
And like,
was-
I'm ready to pounce. He must have been ready to pounce
No
that whole
fucking
time.
Lee, I'm hiding under these boxes. Come and find me.
So I can
How
bite
did
you.
we manage to work that into this series?
High five, Red
I
Skull.
don't know. Last night
So
I
it's notable that this is the only decision they actually give you a second chance to discuss.
I knew we couldn't trust that fucker.
wherever she is. I have
Like-
to find her.
If you choose to hide the bite, like I did the first time, you can choose to hide the bite as they approach and sort of roll your sleeve down, and then during the conversation they'll ask, "Hey, what's wrong? You look kind of freaked out," and you get a second option to choose whether or not you want to show the bite or hide it. Yeah, and then I showed it the second time, and they're like, "Oh wow, you've been bit. That's crappy. Let's help you." But the game really wants you to like not panic and be like, "Oh, they'll hate me. Let's hide it," and then deal with that forever. The game wants you to really consider: are you going to be honest, or are you going to try and conceal this for real?
What are we waiting for?
Right.
Are you sure about
So I'm
this?
going to go one further with what Seamus was saying about, the zombie coming out of nowhere. I agree that it feels a little bit bullshitty, although it didn't so much the first time I played it, more in retrospect. But not only do I think it was a good idea for Lee to get bit, I like that they made it happen just in sort of a random zombie. It's just he's walking, he's distracted by something, his concentration slips, and a zombie bites him. Comes out of nowhere
Yeah,
and bites him.
it could have been done better.
Hold on a minute.
Yeah.
You're
Right.
thinking about bringing him with
Portrayed it
Because
as
I think
Lee's mistake, not the skill of this magical ninja zombie. I really felt like this zombie was unnaturally
The way I see it,
gifted.
Ben still has a chance to make things
Right.
right. If he
Because, I
goes
mean, it has to be Lee's mistake, because the feel of The Walking Dead is, sooner or later your number comes up. It's just the wrong moment, you're in the wrong place at the wrong time, you're distracted, and a zombie bites your ass. And there's nothing you can do about it. It's just, you stay alive for as long as you can, and sooner or later everyone dies. That's how The Walking Dead rolls, and that's how this needed to happen. Not in an action hero moment where, like, you fight 100 zombies, but one of them gets through because you're sacrificing yourself to... No. Zombie comes out of nowhere and bites you.
What about the boat?
Deal with
We just
it.
gonna leave it unguarded?
I do
And
find
I-
it interesting that we got Kenny liking us enough to not throw a little.
Yeah,
hissy
we
fit
didn't
because
even
of
have
Ben.
to ask him. We didn't
Yeah,
even get
I
the
had to
dialogue
ask.
option there to bring out the family thing. So we have
Yeah.
succeeded at the Kenny social link.
Ladies and gentlemen,
we are
we have
level 10.
achieved Kenny's not a
We can now
pill.
date Kenny.
In my game, I had sided with Kenny on all the major decisions, and when I went to him, he was like, "I don't know why you're looking over here, Lee." And it was the only big decision I can think of is that I didn't shoot his kid for him. Apparently, he really holds that against you.
And then you made him or the other thing, right? Like the.
Oh,
the
that's
attic.
true. Yeah, the kid in the attic, I made him do. So I did those both backwards.
Which is evidently the opposite of the good combination.
Right. And that's probably those two things set
Looks
him.
like they got out of here in a hurry.
Wait, no, it's the other way around, isn't it? Isn't it you
Vernon,
killed Duck
get
and
out
then you
here.
let him kill
Right,
the
right,
kid?
It
right.
doesn't have to be
Right,
this
I
trouble
did it the
here.
opposite of the
All
way
I
you're
want is the girl.
This just in, Kenny throws a hissy fit if you don't shoot enough children.
It's not just enough, Rutscorn. You have to shoot the right children. He's very picky about what children he wants to have shot.
So, where is Vernon and company?
Okay, so this was actually foreshadowed earlier in the episode when Vernon looks out the window and says, "Hey, did you guys come from the railroad track?" There was a lot of speculation before episode 5 came out about what he meant about that. I think the prevailing consensus, and I guess what proved to be episode 5's, what actually happened in episode 5 is that the massive horde of zombies that was following you on the train made it into Savannah.
I believe that's Walking Dead canon. It's why you can't easily set up shop. They follow you wherever you go, hordes and
Yeah,
hordes
it's weird.
So really, the ideal thing to do would be to set up in San Francisco, and then hop a train to, like, the East Coast as soon as the zombies showed up. Then when they show up, you hop back to San Francisco, and kite the zombies from coast to coast.
Ironically, part of my knowledge of this comes not from the Walking Dead visual novel or comic book or whatever, but from the Walking Dead board game, where the players actually move around, and as they move around, the zombie hordes.
Game?
I don't know
There's
if the board game is strictly canon. Actually, which board game?
The board game based on the comic book, not the board game based off of the TV show.
So, we did not do well for not doing...
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Let
common
me
stuff.
get this straight. The next episode is called No Time Left. No Time Left. And that's the episode where you could potentially lose your arm on which you wear your watch. Your left arm. And it's called No Time Left. Is that deliberate? Is that like the Left 4 Dead cover?
Seamus, as the resident expert in this field, calm, probably not.
Okay.
Seriously, that...
I am amazed that 80% of
It's
people
like
showed the bite.
Nostradamus.
I showed the bite. I was like, because you know why people did that? Because people in zombie movies never did that, and they're always the asshole for hiding the bite. And you're always like, just show the group the bite. What are you gonna do? Live longer because it's a secret?
There's supposed to be a second screen where it shows you the percentage of people that brought various different teams. That's not here. They took that out when episode 5 came out?
Oh.
Well, that's kind of annoying.
See if you can check the stats page once we get to the episode's listing.
No, it's not in there because I checked before we started the episode.
I just don't appreciate the contributions of Dave Bogan and Daniel Morris and Andrew Langley.
Why are we watching the credit?
Nick Herman, Ryan Benham, Mike Chirac.
Or are we this the end of a Who's Line episode now?
We should do
the Amazing Rondo.
We should do the Mystery Science Theater 3000 thing where we make fun of random names in the credits.
Yeah, except that's scripted, and this would be all improv, and we are not improv people.
No.
Watch me. Paolo Asuncion, Molai, Smelly, ass.
Okay, we stand corrected. Rutscar.
You are the best at improv.
You should take that act on Whose Line Is It Anyway? Just everything. This game, no matter what Drew Carey gives you to do, you just say smelly ass, and you will just
special
win
appearance
all
by
the points.
Brie Rosenholm. Did you see that?
Well, she was the one who won the contest, right?
Well, was she Brie? Like, was that the character of Brie was a special contest winner?
They just put her in the game?
Maybe.
I did not know that, and I played through the game
That would be interesting if they put her in the game with that name.
Wow, that means they put the contest winner got to go in the game and be an incredible asshole. Congratulations, winner!
And then get eaten.
And then get eaten. You win!